Life on the road can still be expensive, and that's why we're navigating it here today. Hey, we're Jalen and Daniella.
For a little bit of context, we've been living in our converted school bus for the past 2.5 years, traveling full-time with 4 pets, 3 cats, and 1 pup, who's chewing on a bone right now, so if you hear some noise, that's him.
If you're new here today, go back, check out some other videos that we've already created.
We're no financial experts. We're just a late 20, early 30-year-old couple trying to figure out our finances for the very first time.
This specific month, we spend a lot of time moving the bus. So there's a lot of gas costs involved in doing that, as well as taking our car with us as well. I guess I'm running straight into gas.
Yeah, do you want to talk about how much we spent on auto and transport then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's get right into the first category, auto and transport.
We spent a total of $742 in this category, and that includes gas for both our bus and we drive a car separately. It's not towed, so it's double gas prices, as well as a bunch of overdue tolls that we paid this month.
Tolls can be one of the worst parts about being on the road if you're not cautious about where they're sending those paper tolls to, or not getting in touch with them in time. And for us, we have neglected many of them until way too late and had to call to get a lot of fines taken off. It's just something that, we could probably be better at. We actually this year got an e-pass. I don't know if it was in this month.
E-pass. I thought that we did, but it hasn't showed up anywhere, so I think something went wrong and I have to call them.
But that'll be really great to have. We've had one on the car for a long time, but now we've got one for the bus. So that should help a lot with going through tolls, always having it automated to an email and instead of sent to my mom's house in Asheville, North Carolina.
Which we visit maybe twice a year at this point.
As you can see, the mayhem is crazy. They're leaving tomorrow and it looks like they have a lot to do. Crazy when we get home.
Speaking of that, we did a lot of driving in May. We actually drove all the way from Florida up to New York. So that accounts for a large portion of the gas prices.
Something that I think we're actually getting in touch with and spending a good amount on without going crazy has been groceries. I feel like we're doing a lot better with groceries, and at $575 for the month of May, a fly on my nose here. For $575 for the month of May, I'd have to say we're doing okay in that category.
We've been trying to do this new method, which we've fallen off a little bit, especially when we go to farmers markets, but it's 5-4-3-2-1, and we saw it online, and basically it's buying 5 vegetables, 4 fruits, 3 proteins, 2
carbs,
starches, and 1 sweet treat. And you don't have to buy like one of each item. For example, if we're buying vegetables, instead of buying 1 head of lettuce, we might buy 2, but count that as 1 vegetable. And that has been keeping us at the 150 to 200.
Yeah, I think we were closer. I think we were really close to staying around the 150 per week until we started realizing that we could buy more than one of each thing, and that was like the cheat of getting more food.
But it's like if you're getting oranges, like you can buy a bag of clementines. You don't have to buy 1 orange as your fruit. It's unrealistic.
Yeah, 1 zucchini. No, you're gonna get 3 or 4.
Everybody has different values when they're grocery shopping, so we do choose to spend more money on organic produce. We like to go to our local farmers markets and support local as much as possible. We buy biodegradable products and compostable products when we need to. So things are a little bit more pricey, and that's just more of a lifestyle that we've chosen to live by. Still on the topic of food, and probably why we spent only $500 on groceries, is our dining and drinks out category, which we spent $488 in.
Gosh,
So,
I mean, that's
our budget is like $200 is what we were aiming
yeah,
for.
yeah. I think it is $200.
Which might need to change because I don't think we've ever met our eating out budget.
No, but I will say that it's a lot better than some months in the past, like pre-budgeting, where we were spending like $800 to $1,000 a month on eating out.
On top of grocery bills.
Yeah, and then we wouldn't even eat the groceries.
Because we're eating out so much.
Yeah. So I'd say, like, yes, we are overspending in that category still today, but thinking about our progress and just like the mindfulness of it now does feel better.
I think also knowing that the grocery section was lower, that it kind of like compensated for in the eating out. So at least if you're going to do more of one, you need to do less of something else.
Yeah, don't waste groceries, man. That's such a bummer to throw out, like, whole lettuce heads and tomatoes.
So easy to get out of the swing of making your own food that once you start eating out, it just becomes like a habit of eating out.
Yeah.
Especially when you're busy and you're doing things or you're driving a lot and you're not prepared, then you're in situations where you're more like forced into the convenience of it.
Yeah.
Than if you're just home all day, like
we had
you
things
can afford to make yourself a meal.
We're in Vermont now. We're outside of Brattleboro. It's about a 30-minute drive into town. And so we're not thinking every day like, oh, let's go grab lunch, you know. So for the coming months, you know, I do expect us to have more of a grocery bill and a lot less of an eating out bill. But yesterday we went into town and we got busy doing all this stuff, and they were like, yeah, we're going to go to the deli too, you know.
We kind
so
of planned to have lunch out.
Yeah.
It's an assumption that if we're going into town for the day, we're going to eat out because otherwise we're going to starve all day because we're away from our bus.
Yeah. And we both get hangry, so it's not fun.
It's not fun at all.
The next category on our list for our expenses in May is bills and utilities, something that you can not run from even on the road.
Well, we don't have utility bills because we did invest in solar and we get our water for free. We do have bills that follow no matter what.
Bills and utilities came out to $423. Our bills include a lot of pet insurance. As we have 4 pets, we have 4 animals that we account for insurance for them, something we will do till the end of time. One Spotify account.
A small storage unit as well as insurance for both our bus and our car. This month we also re-registered the car, so that added to the cost, but usually we're around the $400 mark for bills every month. Pets were our highest cost of the month, coming in at $1,043, but that is largely due to the fact that we signed up our pup Cypress for some virtual training sessions, which came out to $550, and that fed into that. Otherwise, I think we did pretty good on pets.
The 500 is going to go a long way, I feel like, for the progression of our dog. It's like putting your kid in school, like whatever. So yeah, I mean, it feels really good to know that that's something that we're able to do. But other than that, it's usually just food, and that's something that's getting a little bit easier now that the cats are on a wet food at night. We can calculate exactly how many cans, and usually you can get a deal if you buy a certain amount of cans anyways, so usually it does save a few cents per can, you know, if you get bulk or get a certain amount. But usually we'll get 31 or 32 days depending on, so that we have one extra day always, just in case for whatever reason we don't get around to getting more in time.
And our pet, and the amount we spend on pet food might be a little bit increased from other people because we do have a cat who's on prescription medication, and we do try to give our dog the highest quality kibble out there, in our opinion. So we like food for ourselves. We do spend a little bit more on our food for our animals as well.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see where Cypress gets, or what we decide to do for Cypress once he's finally off of puppy food. It'll be really interesting to see, like, do we go raw? Do we get some of the brand food that like ships it to you that's like fresh? Or
so if you have any recommendations on dog food that you think we should try, leave it in the comments. Right now he's still a puppy. He'll be 1 in a few weeks. So I think the recommendation is to leave him on puppy food almost until 2 years old, but we're going to check with our vet. And after that, we'll have a lot more flexibility. Also, he's got a very sensitive stomach, so now that we found a food, we spent a lot of time switching foods, and now that we've found one that he can digest, I'm happy we don't have to change him.
Oh my
for a
gosh,
little
I
bit.
know. Yeah. Yeah, we'll keep using the same stuff as long as we can. But obviously what's best for it. But I am excited for the next steps. The next category is entertainment and recreation. We've put a budget on this for $200, 100 each, or vice versa, whatever, to spend as gifts for people or things for ourselves. Usually that involves some kind of Pokemon trading card game thing for me, as well as we went to Gray Face Museum in
Savannah.
Wow. We went to Gray Face Museum, the psychopath serial killer museum,
Which was really awesome.
in Savannah.
We totally recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. The people that work there are very passionate about what they do.
Yeah.
Which honestly I can see you would have to, because it's a
Be
lot.
surrounded by it all the time,
It's a
absolutely.
lot.
And a lot of information to then keep in your brain space. You have to
Yeah.
enjoy what you're doing.
I mean, they had 100 paintings that John Wayne Gacy painted, which all in one room. Like, the energy in there is just weird.
Playing off of that is our gift category. We spent $183. I'm just double checking. Yes. $183 on gifts. That included, there was Mother's Day in May, as well as my sister's graduation. I'm not sure if there were other gifts,
We
but
purchased a bottle of gin while we were in Savannah for Father's Day, which we knew we were going to be in New York at the time. So we went ahead and got our Father's Day gift while we were there.
this is not something that we originally budgeted for, but it has been pretty much a consistent expense every month since we've been tracking. So I think at the 6-month mark, so maybe the end of June, we'll take a look at our original budget again, and we can kind of construct one that's more realistic based on what we've spent the past 6 months, and definitely put a gift category in there, because
I think that's a great
something
idea.
always happens, and if it doesn't happen one month, it'll happen the next. So why not just have a little section that's dedicated for that?
I like the idea of maybe, biannually reevaluating, seeing what we're spending money on the most, and maybe like pull from other places we're not, to make it make sense that I don't know how, I think it's just a mindset thing, right? Like, you knew you spent a certain amount on this, but you keep going over, so you take from a section. But I feel like ideally we just get the whole thing down.
I think the first 6 months has more been recognizing our spending
Totally.
than sticking to a budget, because when we first created our budget, we really had no idea what we spend each month, so it's just kind of assumptions, and we haven't been limiting ourselves at all. I think we really did a good job when we first started this, but the past 4 months, I don't feel like we've limited ourselves in any category. So these first 6 months can really help us see what we naturally spend, and then we can be more strategic about, all right, this is what you are spending, but this is what you'd like to spend. So you have to be more conscious during these purchases. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's all experimenting, right? Like, seeing what the numbers really look like and then working with them. Didn't we have a $2,800 a month?
We might have had one.
I think it was March.
I
It was
don't
either
know.
March or April.
I mean, if we could get to 25, I'd be super, super happy. Editor edition, because we didn't realize, but the camera had died.
Now the weather's crappy.
But to wrap it up, we spent $3,889 in the month of May, and we are super curious what you guys spend in a month. So let us know in the comments whether you're an individual, a couple, and what your budget is looking like, how you stick to it.
Yeah, with pets, of course. I want to hear the people with pets.
And stay tuned for next month's expenses, as well as weekly videos about life on the road and loving with our babies.
Yeah, this was definitely not our best month, but it wasn't our worst either.
We'd love to see ourselves get to an even tighter budget, which means more money for savings. And yeah, these videos are holding us accountable, so thanks for enjoying them. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Squat in, tuck in your core, squat in, tuck in your core, tuck in your core. Good boy, Cypress, you're doing all the work.
Good boy, Cypress.